Alrighty, those are all the stories that we had to cover for today. So let's head over to our basketball topic of today, which is just kind of continuing on challenging our own narratives. We kind of looked at kind of the elite kind of premier players, our kind of MVP candidates, kind of the top tier teams in the league, the players in the league. We kind of were looking at them, but let's kind of see how our kind of favorite backup players are doing, our kind of second tier favorite players are doing. How are they looking? How are they faring compared to everybody else? So let's go here. Well, let's start here with so we got this page 2. So this is 51 through 100 of the kind of top players in the league according to ESPN. So let's see if we can get anything here. Let's find a name and just kind of start going here. So here we go. First, we got to find kind of our second tier players, and we can start here with Thaddeus Young. Why not? Kind of a potential sixth man of the year candidate that we are looking at. Thaddeus Young averaging 12 points, 4 assists and 5 rebounds off the bench in only 25 minutes off the bench. So still some solid numbers. And, you know, we do like what Thaddeus Young is bringing to this Bulls team, kind of a true kind of bench player needed for them to all work. We know Zach LaVine. Let's see if we can get Kobe White here, because we've been kind of a little disappointed on what he's doing a little bit for this Bulls team. We get him right here. Kobe White's averaging 16 points, 5 assists, and 5 rebounds a game on 33 minutes. So definitely has to get the points up a little bit. He's got to be a little bit of a more consistent scorer, because Zach LaVine and Kobe White are pretty much the two scorers, the two kind of premier players in that offense that the Bulls are running right now. So definitely need a little bit more production out of Kobe White, and that's something that we've been saying all season, because we've seen him, go for 30 points and shoot fantastic, but then we get teens and points, and in some of these games that they're losing, kind of most of the game they're losing, Kobe White's not stepping up. We can always count on Zach LaVine. He's very, very consistent, but they need that other. Like we say, you cannot get it done single-handedly in this league. You cannot do it. LeBron James can't even do it. So if LeBron James can't do it, and LeBron James has gotten very close a lot of times, he'll bring trash to the finals. He just can't win the finals on that trash, because you need that second piece kind of collectively throughout an entire season. So, and we know Zach LaVine's not even anywhere near the same stratosphere that LeBron James is. So definitely we need Kobe White to start stepping it up a little bit here. So gotta start getting up to those kind of 20 solid points a game category. So he does have a little bit of his work cut out for him in this kind of back half of the season. Alrighty, let's go to Jared Allen now. 13 points, and he's got the 9 rebounds a game. So kind of the second tier big, maybe third tier big. Got to see him putting up a little bit more rebounds if he wants to kind of compete with the Rudy Gobert and the Christian Wood, who are putting up, like 12 and 13 rebounds a game. So love what Jared Allen can bring to this team. We got to get a little bit more involved in this offense. We know it's really pretty much Colin Sexton and Jared Allen, just kind of the two big scorers here for this Cavs team. Really nothing special beyond those two players. So Jared Allen definitely can get it done. We saw him kind of going from the starting to the from the bench to the starting role here. So these 35 or these 27 minutes a game will probably increase, which will increase his rebounds, which will increase his points. So I think he's getting a little bit of, he's getting bogged down in the stats overall because of those bench numbers kind of weighing him down a little bit. But Jared Allen is fantastic. And we'll keep tabs on him, but definitely want to see these rebounding averages go up a little bit more, and they will. Alrighty, what else can we find here? Kemba Walker. Alrighty, let's start talking about him, because we haven't really seen any really clutchness by this man. So let's get kind of totals on him. So Kemba Walker here, 18 points a game, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Whereas Jason Tatum and well, let's find them first. Let's go to the Celtics. So let's kind of compare, because, Kemba Walker kind of needs to be in this kind of 20-point-a-night category along with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, because they really don't have any great other scorers besides those three. And Kemba Walker is not the greatest scorer. We see him take a lot of unnecessary threes a game here. So here we go. Let's see where kind of he's ranking with the others here. So Jason Tatum's putting up 24 points a game. Jaylen Brown's putting up 24 points a game too. They're both putting up 24 points a game, and that's fantastic. But we need Kemba Walker to step it up because, I mean, the third or the fourth leading scorer is Marcus Smart, and he hasn't even been playing. He's only played 17 games. He's been out kind of the back half of the first half of the season. So they are missing valuable points with Marcus Smart, and we haven't really seen Kemba Walker step up his production really that much, which is a little frustrating because, you need to step it up, and that's Kemba Walker's one biggest knock is that he doesn't step it up. He doesn't know what consistent winning is. He was with Charlotte for his entire career. They did nothing there, and I think it was there for some solid seasons. I want to say 5+. Do I dare say 8 seasons? I'll say 8 seasons. But Kemba Walker, he needs to kind of fit in a little bit better, just kind of be the facilitator a little bit more because Kemba Walker having 4 assists a game, that should be a lot higher. He should be kind of falling back to kind of a Chris Paul role. I'm just kind of facilitating the ball a little bit more. I'm not taking all these shots. I'm more the facilitator. Now, Chris Paul can still score and still show that ability to put up 22 to 25 points a night if that's what they need, and we've seen him do that, but he still gets those assists with the points, and that's where we need Kemba Walker to kind of be with the Celtics team if they really want any chance of going deep in this kind of playoff run in the East. And the East is very lackluster. It kind of always is. The West is a lot stronger than the East most of the time, and this season alone, it is kind of same like that. The West is stronger than the East, so there's no reason why the Celtics team should be any lower than 3 in the East, honestly. Maybe lower than 4. There's no reason for that. They should be a top 4 team here in the East, but we need better contribution here from Kemba Walker. Got to get those assists up. Yeah, just those assists. And then when we just look at everybody else, we get Daniel Tice, 9 points. He's only putting up 5 rebounds. And Tristan Thompson's honestly doing a little bit better here, which is kind of something that we've known. We do kind of like Tristan Thompson a little bit of a better big than Daniel Tice. So Tristan Thompson's putting up 7 points with 8 rebounds. But that's what we want the 5 to do because we do have some other great scorers in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. So the bigs don't have to score. They don't need to have a Jokic role. They don't need to have a Giannis role of just kind of scoring bigs. Daniel Tice and Tristan Thompson, they just need to be the rebounder, and we don't really get that from Daniel Tice here with the only 5 rebounds a game. And then we go to Robert Williams. What is this man doing? Kind of the third big that they have here. 6 points and 5 rebounds a game. I mean, he's doing better than Daniel Tice with a lot less minutes. So I respect Robert Williams for that. That's why I do not like. I hate Daniel Tice, folks. I'll admit it. I've been saying it forever, but I hate Daniel Tice. I think he's probably the worst big that's on a decent team. Get freaking Jared Allen on the Celtics team, and they'll turn around. They'll be good. They'll be top contenders here in the East. Alrighty, so that's kind of Kemba Walker in Boston. We need better contribution from Kemba Walker. Less threes, more assists, more efficient shooting, and they'll be decent. But he's got to make that change first. Alrighty, let's see if we can find somebody else here. We might have to go to page 3. Maybe not. We'll see. All right, let's go to Lonzo Ball. Let's talk about him because, he's kind of one of not the greatest pieces on the Pelicans. He doesn't really step it up consistently. He has been getting a little bit better this kind of last 2 weeks of the first half of the season, but overall he's putting up 14 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. Once again, needs to take a little bit of a better Chris Paul type of role. Now, we still kind of need some production out of Lonzo Ball, because we don't get any real production out of Eric Bledsoe. So let's just look at this team in total. So we'll go here to the Pelicans, to New Orleans. Can we look that up? Where are they at? Are they under Pelicans? What are they going to be under? I don't see New Orleans. Oh, it's right here. It is New Orleans. Just overlooking it. All right, here we go. So Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram putting up the points here. 25 points a game from Zion Williamson, 23 points a game from Brandon Ingram. But we need either Lonzo Ball or Eric Bledsoe to kind of be that second main scorer. And Eric Bledsoe's only putting up 12 points a game, or Lonzo's putting up 14. So Lonzo's putting up more points, more assists, and more rebounds than Eric Bledsoe. But Eric Bledsoe needs to get a little bit better in the scoring department so Lonzo Ball can just take the facilitator role, because that's what they need. They got the great shooter in Brandon Ingram. They got the great beef in Zion Williamson, and they still have Steven Adams down low, and then you can have a nice cash out shooter on the wing of Eric Bledsoe, and then just have Lonzo Ball just kind of be the facilitator, the Chris Paul of this team. But first, before they had that, they need Eric Bledsoe to start stepping it up. These 12 points a game are not going to get it done. We need him to in kind of like 17 to 20 points a game. So Eric Bledsoe definitely needs to step it up a little bit more, because Lonzo Ball cannot score and assist. We've seen that time and time again. It comes to kind of a sacrifice of one or the other. If he has a great shooting night, if he puts up a lot of points, the assists are down. If he doesn't have a great shooting night, if the points are down, then the assists and rebounds are usually up in those games. So we need another kind of outside shooter here for this Pelicans team, and we know Lonzo's not that great with the three, so we can't really rely on that. Is this saying he's making three? Oh my goodness. Is that all right? So maybe we're wrong here. Maybe the narrative is not that. I mean, he's putting up 3 3-pointers a game. Is that right? 3 made 3-pointers a game, and that's the highest on the team. So, wow. I did not expect that to happen. Interesting. And Eric Bledsoe's right there with 2, but I don't really see that production there from that. So, interesting that Lonzo Ball is putting up 3 3-pointers a game and making 3 3-pointers a game. Did not see that coming. All right, so that's right there, questioning our own narratives, kind of believing our own narratives a little bit too much there. So, but that doesn't change from the fact that we need other scoring production here, some outside scoring production. So we still do need Eric Bledsoe to step it up a little bit more. And then while we're here, let's look at Steven Adams. He's putting up 8 points and 8.9 rebounds a game. So definitely good, kind of this second tier, maybe dropping Steven Adams down to our third tier possibly of our bigs. Definitely need him to kind of get to those 10 points or 10 rebounds. Got to see something in double digits. But, he's getting there, and, he's kind of been in and out of the starting lineup a little bit. So that's probably hurting his overall kind of stats here a little bit. But Steven Adams, doesn't need to be the true beef because you still have Zion Williamson. Doesn't need to be kind of that true scorer because you still have Brandon Ingram. So he's just kind of in between, just kind of filling in whatever needs to be done on a nightly basis. So, alrighty, that's the Pelicans. Let's kind of go back here. Let's find another player here. See if we can talk through it. Maybe we find that, somebody's good at hitting threes that we didn't think were. That's honestly crazy. I cannot believe Lonzo's hitting 3 threes a game. Where is that? Who else is hitting like 3 threes a game? Like top of leader. I mean, Damian Lillard's hitting 4. Steph Curry's at 4, almost 5 at 4.8. I want to see where 3 is. Who is 3? I want a comparable comp to that, man. CJ McCollum's hitting almost 5 a game, but he only played 13 games before he got injured. 2.6 is Jason Tatum. Wow, shooting better than Jason Tatum. How crazy. Paul George is at 3.5. Donovan Mitchell is at 3.3. Fred VanVleet is at 3.4. And Kyle Lowry is at 2.9. So the man is Kyle Lowry, 18 points. But Kyle Lowry has 7 assists a game. So you see what we're saying here. Kind of want to see Lonzo Ball start to step it up. I mean, they play the same position, point guard. Kyle Lowry, Lonzo Ball. There's no reason that Lonzo Ball cannot be putting up 18, 7, and 5 a game. That's where we need Lonzo to be. Alrighty, so decent comp there. Alrighty, interesting. Truly, truly interesting there. Alrighty. Now let's find another player here. Alrighty, let's see what we can get here. Jordan Clarkson, we'll just shout him out real quick. Kind of another kind of 6th man of the year candidate. And when we look at, comparing him to Thaddeus Young, Jordan Clarkson's got 17.9 points a game, so very, very close to that 18. 2 assists, and 4 rebounds, where Thaddeus Young is having, 12 points. So definitely, the points goes to Jordan Clarkson. But look at these assists and rebounds. He's got 4 assists, so doubling the assists of Jordan Clarkson, and then 5.9 rebounds. So almost 2 more rebounds and 2 more assists than Jordan Clarkson. But Jordan Clarkson's got, 5 more points. So which do you weigh more? So that's why, I definitely want Thaddeus Young in the 6th Man of the Year category, or just discussion, because, he is kind of doing what Jordan Clarkson isn't doing, the boards and the assists. Now, we know Jordan Clarkson is a great scorer. Nobody's doubting that. And that's why, he's very high up on the 6th Man of the Year kind of front runner, is because he's getting you those points himself. He's getting you those points. Alrighty, so, I do want this kind of debate here of Thaddeus Young and Jordan Clarkson to be a little close. Let's see if we can quickly bring up what Montrezl Harrell is doing. And right here, he's number 93. And it's a little interesting. Thaddeus Young is actually ranked 78, where Jordan Clarkson's ranked 80. So, once again, ESPN, they have them very close. They've got Thaddeus Young at 27.3 ESPN points and Jordan Clarkson at 27.2. So very, very close. We're not out of our gourd here talking, folks. We are kind of knowing what we're talking about here. So I think this gives us a little validation that Thaddeus Young should be in that discussion, at least in the discussion. And then we get Montrezl Harrell, who is actually ranked 93, so kind of very, very below those other 2 players in the 6th man of our 6th Man of the Year candidate. So Montrezl Harrell here, number 93. He's putting up 13 points, 1 assist with the 6 rebounds, and he's a big. He's working with LeBron and Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol. So there's a lot of other bigs that are getting rebounds and putting up points, but he's still finding great production here with not a lot of production to be had for everybody else, because they've got kind of their main starters are really kind of all their production. They really don't have a true go-to 6 man. Although I do think Montrezl Harrell can be that man if they need that on a nightly basis, because we know we really can't count on Kuzma, whether he's in the starting lineup or coming off the bench. Can't really trust Caruso off the bench. Taylon, Horton, Tucker off the bench. It's been decent contribution this season, but not really reliable as Montrezl Harrell has been. And now that Anthony Davis has, kind of been out for these last kind of 2 weeks, Montrezl Harrell has really been elevating his own game. So I really think Montrezl Harrell, he's got 13.8 points, more points than Thaddeus Young. Still kind of decently close points-wise to Jordan Clarkson. The assist is very, very down. He's only at 1, folks. That's kind of possibly the big red flag in his 6th Man of the Year resume, I would say. And then, but the rebounds are there, 6.4, and a lot better than Jordan Clarkson with the 4, and better with Thaddeus Young with the 5.9. So he does have something that he's better than the other 2 of the 6th Man of the Year candidates, the rebounding. So, and that's kind of what we need from him. That's what he's all about. That's why we love him so much, is because he can clean up the glass and be that nice beef for the bench when Anthony Davis and Marc Gasol are not playing, or not in the game. Mostly just Anthony Davis. Don't really like Marc Gasol that much. Alrighty, so we are kind of we're on track here, baby. We are truly on track here. Alrighty, let's go to Andrew Wiggins now, since we see his name and we do kind of talk highly of him. Actually, I kind of just want to go to this Warriors team in general, because I do want to keep tabs on Kelly Oubre. I want to see what his official stats are, because I'm not expecting too much from him. And like we say, he kind of needs to be kind of that number 2 scorer. And I think that's why a little bit that we get these rumors that Victor Oladipo and the Warriors are kind of maybe potential suitors for each other if a trade is going to happen before the trade deadline, because I don't think Kelly Oubre is kind of being that true production that they need. And look at this. We get the rankings of this Warriors team. Number 1 is obviously Steph Curry, but guess who number 2 is? Andrew Wiggins. And that's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what we've been saying all season, that Andrew Wiggins is kind of a better producer than what Kelly Oubre is doing here this season. That's why we're very disappointed in Kelly Oubre Jr. and actually kind of praising Andrew Wiggins a lot here. So we are once again vindicated here. So let's read their stats. Kelly Oubre Jr. is still number 3 though, so let's all relax a little bit. So Andrew Wiggins, 17 points a game, 2 assists, and 4 rebounds. Where Kelly Oubre is at 15.5 points, so less points than Andrew Wiggins. 1.4 assists, so less assists, but he does have more rebounds at 5.9. So he does have more rebounds, but everything else goes to Andrew Wiggins there. Alrighty, so yeah, definitely got to get that up. And look at this. I mean, we need Kelly Oubre to kind of be the scorer. He's kind of got to kind of be, the Klay Thompson in this kind of situation with Klay Thompson out. And Kelly Oubre Jr. is only making 1.7 threes a game, and Andrew Wiggins is making 1.8. So Andrew Wiggins is just the better scorer and the better three-point shooter than Kelly Oubre is. So he's definitely got to step it up. But, just kind of what the main point we're talking about here is that Andrew Wiggins is truly kind of undervalued here in the league. And once again, we put him in the All-Stars, and I think we are a little vindicated here with him kind of being the true number 2 here of this Warriors team. Alrighty, let's go back to all teams. Let's get another person here. We still got a couple times that we can, or a couple minutes that we can spend on this topic. So let's see what else we get here. I think we went, oh yeah, this is page number 1. I was going to say, I think we touched on the Raptors of kind of all their players having to be 20 points a game kind of scores, and they all kind of are the starters. So we were right about that as well. Let's keep going here. Alrighty. All right, I want to shout out Buddy Hield a little bit here because he's kind of going hugely under the mark as well, just because he's on the Kings. I mean, we don't really talk about the Kings too much. We did for about a week period when they were on that big old streak, but then they floundered and crashed and burned truly after that 9-game losing streak after that big old nice win streak they were on. But Buddy Hield here, ranked 91 on the ESPN's kind of rankings here, ranking every player. So Buddy Hield, I mean, he's putting up 16 points a game, but his threes a game is at 3.9, folks. Very, very close to 4. And you know who the other players that we mentioned in that kind of 4 category? Damian Lillard, making more than 4 threes a game. CJ McCollum was at 4. Steph Curry was above 4, I think, like 5. Oh no, Steph Curry was at 4.8, very close to 5. But Buddy Hield, doesn't get a lot of play in that kind of great 3-point shooting. Paul George is only putting up 3.5, so Buddy Hield is a better 3-point maker than Paul George is. Donovan Mitchell's only at 3.3 made a game. So yeah, I mean, Buddy Hield, truly under the radar here. I mean, Terry Rozier is at 3.4 threes a game. So better than all of them, folks, at 3.9 threes made a game. So truly great by Buddy Hield here. A true great player on this Kings team. Now, if he can get up to those 20-point categories, so it's, him and De'Aaron Fox being the main scoring output, then they can go on some nice runs. But, he's getting there. He's still a little young here. And if he's making, very close to 4 threes a game, we can definitely get behind that production, that great production as well. So Buddy Hield making it work out here. Alrighty, let's go to Dennis Schroeder now, because I want to kind of see, let's just talk about the Lakers, because I do kind of want to see where everybody's kind of faring here. If on kind of where we see the offense, it's probably LeBron James 1, Anthony Davis is kind of that true number 2, but Dennis Schroeder needs to be that 3. He needs to be that 3rd great scorer, that 3rd great production. So let's go here, and oh my goodness, once again, vindication, just of how ESPN is ranking these players. We are vindicated here. LeBron James is number 1. Anthony Davis is number 2. We knew that. That's not what we were talking about. But guess who is number 3 with only 24 little low minutes played a game? It's Montrezl mother-loving Harold, folks. ESPN ranks him the 3rd best player on this Lakers team. And that's what we're talking about, folks. When we're talking about 6th man of the year, we're talking about solid, great production of just a bench player alone. And Montrezl Harrell is only 24 minutes played a game, putting up 13 points and 6 rebounds. Fantastic. And then Dennis Schroeder is the number 4. So I would like for Dennis Schroeder to kind of be that number 3, but I want Montrezl Harrell to stay the number 3, so we're still vindicated here. But Dennis Schroeder playing 31 minutes, putting up 14 points a game. He does have the great assist with the 4.5 assists and 3.5 rebounds. But look at him only making 1 3-pointer a game. We cannot have that. That's what the Lakers need. They need great 3-point shooting. Kyle Kuzma's only putting up 1.8 3-pointers a game, but still only 11 points a game. So he's still not getting it done. Then we get KCP at the 6 here for the Lakers. 8 points a game, 1.5 threes made. Then Marc Gasol at number 7. Marc Gasol, that's what I'm saying. That's why we want Montrezl Harrell in the starting lineup without Anthony Davis. Get this man. Get Marc Gasol out of here. I really do not like this man. He's all right, but he's definitely aging out of the league. He had a great career, don't get us wrong, but he's kind of aging out of this league a little bit. And then we get Taylon Horton Tucker at number 8. 7 points a game. 0.5 threes made every game, so not even making 1 3 a game. Cannot be having that. So they definitely need that other great outside shooter, especially when Anthony Davis isn't there. But even when Anthony Davis is there, folks, they need a great 3-point shooter. Alrighty, let's keep going. Since we keep getting vindicated, we gotta keep going, right? Until we get proved wrong, and then we cut the segment short because we were wrong. All right. Alrighty, let's go to since we're seeing, okay. I want to look at these two teams, and then we may call it. But let's look at the Heat first, and then the Nets, because we just saw some names here, Goran Dragic and Joe Harris. We say that Goran Dragic is a huge, great piece of this Heat team. He should be kind of, the number 2 here. Just kind of on their rankings, it should probably be Jimmy Butler 1, Goran Dragic 2, and then probably Bam Adebayo 3. Bam Adebayo is probably number 2, honestly, just because Goran Dragic has kind of missed a couple of games here. And Bam Adebayo may be 1 because Jimmy Butler missed a lot of games. So we'll see what we get. But we'll look at the Heat first, and then I want to go to the Nets because I want to see where Joe Harris is stacking up because I think it's going to be great. And then I want to compare Joe Harris to Denny Green and Seth Curry, so we can get that narrative out of the way as well. So let's start here with the Heat first. All right, here we go, Heat. Let's see how they're kind of ranked here in their top players. Page error? Whoa, okay. You're telling me we can't bring up the Miami Heat? What's going on here? We're so right that they have to censor us? They can't let us be right again. All right, can we go to the Nets? We'll go to the Nets first, maybe. Brooklyn. Here we go. All right, we can go to the Nets. Can we go back to the Heat now? Page still down? All right, here we go, the Heat. All right, we're back. All right, here we go. Number 1 is Jimmy Butler for the Heat, obviously. 20 points a game, 7 assists, 7 rebounds, not even making a 3 a game. I mean, that's what we know. He's not the best 3-point shooter. He doesn't even like to take a lot of threes. He's just great scoring, great production. So Jimmy Butler is number 1 for the Heat. Bam Adebayo is number 2. Once again, that doesn't surprise us. 19 points a game and 9 rebounds. So once again, kind of that tier 2 bigs we're talking about. Actually, is he in maybe even tier 1? Those 19 points, a lot of points under, 11 rebounds. He's only at 9.5. Definitely want to see him at 10, get those double digits. But yeah, Bam Adebayo, nice scoring, nice rebounding, fantastic. And then we get Tyler Hero at 3, and I would probably say, he's at 3 because he's got a couple more games played than Goran Dragic, because Goran Dragic is 4 here, and Tyler Hero does have 3 more games played than Goran Dragic does. But Tyler Hero, 15 points a game, and he's making 2 threes a game. Wow. I thought that was a little light. I thought Tyler Hero was not having that great of a season here this season. I think he's definitely taken a little bit of a step back from last season in the bubble to this season, but I did not think Tyler Hero was making 2 threes a game. So 15 points a game, 3 assists, 5 rebounds for Tyler Hero, and then Goran Dragic, we get 14 points, 4 assists, and 3 rebounds with 1.6 threes made. So he's actually kind of the 4th leading 3-point shot made here. Kendrick Nunn is at 2 threes a game. Kelly Olynyk is at 1.9. No way. Wow. 1.9 and 5.9 rebounds. Wow. Only 10 points though a game. So definitely a bench big. Duncan Robinson. No way. I'm calling baloney on these stats. There's no way that Duncan Robinson's at 3.3 3 points made a game. That cannot be right. I see this man struggling every single game. I see no solid production. Now, he is still only putting up 12 points a game, which isn't that great. Definitely could be a little bit better of Duncan Robinson. But I do not believe this 3.3s, 3 threes made a game. I don't believe that. I think that's wrong. I would probably say that's kind of questioning our own narrative right there. I did not think that was what he was averaging. Just when we look at the stats every single game, I really don't see anything that great from Duncan Robinson. But we'll start paying a little bit of close attention. Now that we have bars, we've got half-season bars and all these players, we can really judge performances even better in the back half of the season now. But I did not see that coming. Duncan Robinson, 3.3 threes made a game. Wow. Leading the team by far, truly. Alrighty. So Goran Dragic is number 4 here. Tyler Hero is at number 3. Once again, just kind of questioning our own narrative here. I did not think Tyler Hero was having that good of a season overall. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, hitting 2 threes a game. Alrighty. Goran Dragic is the better percentage shooter, though. Let's point that out. 45%, where Tyler Hero is at 43%. Alrighty, now let's go to the Nets because we got to see what Joe Harris does, and then we're going to kind of compare that because we've been seeing great. I mean, Joe Harris has really been a little bit of an unsung hero on that Nets team, just kind of filling in, still getting great production with, other great producers on the floor of James Harden and Kyrie Irving. So I truly expect Joe Harris to be number 3 over even Kevin Durant since he hasn't played that many games, and I really expect Joe Harris to be very, very high on this Nets team. So we want to compare Joe Harris to the 76ers because we see Danny Green. I got to look at his stats because we've been calling him trash all this first half of the season. And I also want to see what Seth Curry is doing also on that 76ers team because we obviously know Joel Embiid is going to be number 1. Ben Simmons is probably number 2. Tobias Harris should be 3. Maybe Tobias Harris is 2. Ben Simmons is 3. Whatever they kind of rank heavier, just kind of offensive scoring production or defensive and all those together. So we'll see. But the point is going to be Danny Green and Seth Curry are easily the number 4 and 5 on that team, but I want to see how they stack up against Joe Harris because Joe Harris is having great contribution here as kind of a main 3-point shooter, and that's what Seth Curry and Danny Green need to be for that 76ers team. So if Joe Harris is having great production with great scores on this team and still finding ways to get 3 threes made a game, 15 plus points, the rebounds, the assisting, if he's still able to do that with James Harden and Kyrie Irving on the floor, there should be no reason that Danny Green and Seth Curry cannot be producing with Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris on the floor. So that's what we're going to be looking at now, and that's probably where we're going to end this segment. But let's get this going. So here we go. The Nets first. Alrighty. Joe Harris is 6. Unbelievable. They still, I cannot. All right. Whoever made this is just ridiculous and wrong because Jared Allen is still above Joe Harris for this Nets team, and Jared Allen only played 12 games. So something is wonky here. But that just goes to speak that Jared Allen's fantastic. Once again, we're right here. So we're right both times here. Jared Allen is great and Joe Harris is great. So once again, we're a little... We're a little vindicated. All right, but let's start talking about this. James Harden is number 1, and rightfully so. 25 points a game and those 11 assists. It's truly fantastic. Nobody is even close to those 11 assists. We went over that the other day. Kevin Durant is number 2 here. Funny that Kevin Durant is still kind of better than Kyrie Irving, even though he has a lot less games played, about 10 less games played. So, Kyrie Irving, let's settle it down. You're nowhere near number 1. You're nowhere near, you're basically a number 2, but even on this team, you're the number 3, folks. So, yikes. So, Kevin Durant's averaging 29 points a game, 7 rebounds, but once again, he only played 19 games. Kyrie Irving, 27 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Once again, not the best scorer, not the best rebounder, not the best assister, just, number 2. Number 2. And then we get Karis LeVert, once again, who has not been on this team. Jared Allen, once again, who has not been on this team. And then we get Joe Harris at number 6. Really should be a little bit higher than that. So if we take out the 2 players that are no longer on this team, Karis LeVert and Jared Allen, then Joe Harris bumps up to the 4 just by default there. So we understand that. So Joe Harris here. 14 points a game. I thought it was a little bit better. I was expecting probably like 15 to 17, but 14.8 is basically at 15. He's putting up, what do you got here? 3 rebounds, 1 assist, But this 3-point, look at this. He's at 3.4, folks. So right up there, kind of that second tier under the fours. If you're not truly at 4, you're in the kind of that second category of just 3. And he's a solid 3-point shooter still, folks. So love it. He's actually, the best 3-point scorer on the team. Kyrie Irving's averaging 2.9. Kevin Durant's averaging 2.6. And James Harden is still averaging 3.3. So still, once again, Joe Harris is still finding ways to be productive and still be the best 3-point shooting on this team that's full of freaking stars and shooting guards and scoring guards. And Joe Harris here, the fourth option here, still getting it done. So I absolutely love it. So now we have to kind of compare this 3.4 3-pointers made a game to Danny Green and Seth Curry for the 76ers. So let's see what we got here. Alrighty, Philadelphia. Where are they at? Right here. All right, here we go. So we're expecting it to be Joel Embiid 1, Joel Embiid 1, Ben Simmons 2, Tobias Harris 3, Seth Curry 4, Danny Green 5. Let's see what we get here. So Joel Embiid is number 1, 30 points a game, 11 rebounds, fantastic. Ben Simmons is number 2 with 16 points a game. 7 assists, 7 rebounds, fantastic. Then Tobias Harris is number 3, 20 points, 7 rebounds. Once again, kind of exactly following how we think. And then actually Shake Milton is number 4 off the bench, fantastic. So Shake Milton is over Seth Curry and Danny Green. And then we get Seth Curry at number 5 at 12 points. 2 3-pointers made a game. Once again, that needs to be up. That's all they are here to do. We don't care about the assists. We don't care about the rebounds. You got Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, and Tobias Harris for all those other categories. Defense, passing, rebounding, under the basket scoring, paint scoring, all those go to the other 3 players. The only thing that we're asking Seth Curry and Danny Green to do is hit threes. That's all they need to do, and they're only at 2. They're not even that second tier. They're third tier. How can you be third tier? We need y'all to be in that second tier. We would love it for you to be in that first tier, that 4 3-pointers made a game where Seth Curry's at. Where basically Damian Lillard's at. Where basically, CJ McCollum's at. We're basically Buddy Hield's at that 3.9, 3.8. We would love you to be in that 4, but Danny Green and Seth Curry coming up very short here. So Seth Curry is only at 2, and then we get Danny Green at 6. Danny Green shouldn't even be in the starting lineup. How funny is that? Danny Green should not even be in the starting lineup. They rank him number 6 best player here. Get Shake Milton. I mean, he's having 1.1 threes a game. But still putting up 13 points, more points than Seth Curry, more points than Danny Green. I mean, Danny Green's not even averaging 10 points a game. He's averaging 8.5. What are we talking about here? Danny Green is a bomb, folks. Officially bomb. If we have our cash and trash list, he's a true trash for this entire first half of the season, folks. Oh, my God. Danny Green, 2.2 threes made a game. Unfortunate. Truly awful. Sixth best player on this freaking 76ers team. Truly comical. Danny Green is a fraud. Seth Curry on the verge of a fraud. Number 5 here. Very close to falling out of this starting lineup. Oh, man. And let's look at what Dwight Howard's doing off the bench. He's putting up 7 rebounds off the bench in only 15 minutes. I truly love what Dwight Howard's doing. Kind of revitalized his career last season with the Lakers and is kind of carrying it over here to this season with the 76ers. So Dwight Howard's actually the 7th best player for this team. He's right under Danny Green here. So love that by Dwight Howard to come in and get those 7 rebounds. He's actually rivaling Ben Simmons with 7.9 and Tobias Harris was 7.6. So Dwight Howard off the bench is getting 7.3. This is truly fantastic work by Dwight Howard here. So absolutely love it. Truly love it. Alrighty, that's going to do it for our questioning our own narratives for today. And then tomorrow, I think we're going to kind of finish off all these other teams. We're just going to kind of look at team-wise where kind of their ranking order is. So we'll kind of go off on that. The other teams that we haven't done today, we'll kind of finish that off because, once again, there's no NBA on today. There is tomorrow night, but tomorrow day, while we're on, we'll finish off here, kind of shoring up our own narratives right before the second half of the season starts. So we'll finish that off tomorrow on the show.